How you're communicating during the interview matters because engineers are historically known for being bad at communication. There you go. I can't even communicate myself. Both of those behavioral traits, if you will, tell the interviewer something very specific, and ultimately they will use it against you if they find that, yes, you had the right answer, but I couldn't understand how they got there. So here's typically how it goes. Most people start the interview, they get the prompt, they get the question, and then they sit there for 30 minutes answering the question. And here's the thing that an interviewer will not tell you. They purposefully will not say anything, and they will let you continue writing your code because they have no incentive to correct that. They want to see if you have the self-awareness to know that it is kind of awkward that you are just going and talking and talking and talking. And the thing is, if you don't get that hit in the first 5 minutes, which they won't give you, you're in danger of just using up the next 30 minutes, which might be 100% of your time, writing code, only to figure out at the very end that you went through a different route, you took a bad detour, and you actually got the wrong answer. And because you just used your 30 minutes, time's up, you're not getting past that round. Before writing a single line of code, the right move is to actually pause, take a deep breath, and just ask any clarifying questions that you have on the prompt that they gave you. They will respect you so much more for assuming that you know nothing and for actually collaborating with the interviewer to show that, hey, answer out to this question together. And secondly, you need to avoid messy code. It's such an easy thing. You probably know how to do it. If you don't, there's so many resources out there as to how the right syntax looks or how the right cleanliness looks. But whether your code runs is one thing, whether they can understand how you got there and what its final state looks like is a whole different thing. So what I would do is make sure that your variables have the right naming convention, right? So if you're calling something, if you're labeling a variable as a cup, then maybe use the word cup. Don't just name it C, because C can stand for 100 other things, 1,000 other things, right? And so give it a name that makes sense and easy for the interviewer to follow. And number two, write comments, right? You can write comments within the code lines to describe, hey, this is what I'm doing here, just so you know. And I actually remember back at Lyft when I was interviewing a certain candidate, I asked him 10 minutes into an interview, hey, what is it that you're thinking? Because he had basically written down 3 different approaches and I had no idea what he was doing. And I realized that he was basically writing down all the different approaches he can do, while I actually thought he was just doing 3 different approaches in one attempt. And so when I asked him, like, what are you doing? And he explained that, I was like, oh, okay, this makes a lot more sense. Otherwise, I was on the verge of eliminating him within 10 minutes of a 30 to 40 minute interview round. So here's the lesson. In every practice problem, try speaking out loud. If you have to, record yourself, because I get it. It feels so unnatural, and everybody watching this is probably like, yeah, I'll do it. And then they don't do it. But the few that actually do it, you will see yourself start to morph that skill set into something that is tangible, which is your communication skills, which is priceless. And so again, you have to ask yourself when you're watching your recording, would somebody understand this communication immediately? And would somebody understand the comments in my code and the cleanliness of my code immediately? And if the answer is that you even had a little bit of trouble rereading your own code 1 month down the line, then imagine how other people feel. So that is a great litmus test that you can implement today. Point 5, iterate, handle edge cases, and fix your mistakes. The final 2 boxes of the interview checklist, right? That's 6-part framework, is iteration and edge cases. So these reveal whether you're thinking like an engineer or just somebody that memorized a ton of questions on LeetCode.